Doctrine and Covenants 67 through 70. By late 1831, Joseph Smith had received over 72 revelations from the Lord for the church and individual members. In a society that, for the most part, believed the heavens had closed with the Bible, this was miraculous news. The saints wanted to share these brand new words from the Lord as they served missions. But their current practice of taking handwritten copies with them wasn't very effective. They wanted to have printed copies. Joseph agreed and had been going through the process of selecting the most important revelations for publication as the Book of Commandments. While Joseph worked on this project, 4 church conferences were held in the first 2 weeks of November 1831, and Joseph received an additional 6 revelations, now found in Doctrine and Covenants 67 through 70, Doctrine and Covenants 1, and Doctrine and Covenants 133. During one of these conferences, the elders debated, disagreed, and labored over a preface for this new book of Revelations. Unsatisfied with all the offerings placed before them, Joseph prayed during a break and received the Lord's own words as a preface for the Book of Commandments, now found in Doctrine and Covenants 1. This newest revelation so inspired the men that they decided to print 10,000 copies of the new Book of Commandments. That is double the number of copies they printed of the Book of Mormon. Joseph felt that it was important to have witnesses to attest to the revelation's authenticity so that everyone could hearken to God's words through his prophet. The Book of Mormon had the benefit of the 3 and 8 witnesses, and so surely the Book of Commandments needed something similar. However, some of the men in attendance at this conference didn't feel that they could testify that they knew without a doubt that every word in the Revelations came from God. Most of these doubts came because the Revelations contained some grammatical errors and more common language than they expected. Some men even wanted to edit the Revelations. In response, in the Revelation in Doctrine and Covenants 67, the Lord submitted to the elders a challenge that they try to produce a better revelation than those the Lord had given to Joseph Smith. Every man in attendance seemed silenced by the challenge, except for William E. McClellan. He thought himself pretty wise and well-educated. William sat down to write just a single revelation, but in doing so, he found that he couldn't. He failed miserably, and his failure served as a witness to the rest of the men in attendance that Joseph couldn't possibly have written the over 72 revelations in his possession unless he was a prophet of God. But before the revelations could go off to be printed, more church conferences were held in the fall of 1831. And during one of these, 4 newly ordained high priests sought some revelation from the Lord about the church's organization and their responsibilities and their callings. Now, the heavens were indeed open, and Joseph was able to inquire of the Lord as to his will for these men. The revelation spoke directly to these 4 men, but it also provided instruction and organization for the church as a whole. But with a decision made to print 10,000 copies of the Book of Commandments, Oliver Cowdery was given the responsibility to take the manuscript to Missouri for printing, as well as taking along financial donations to the church there. He planned to leave for Missouri within 2 weeks of the end of the conference, which didn't give Joseph much time to finish his part of the project. Joseph worked to assemble the revelations, knowing that not all the revelations he received should be included in the Book of Commandments. He worked under the inspiration of heaven to include only those that would be of value to the church and the world. As Joseph labored over this project, he received the revelation now known as Doctrine and Covenants 69, in which church historian John Whitmer was instructed to go with Oliver in his travels and collect material to add to his record of church history. When Joseph finally had the revelations ready, he dedicated them with a prayer, sealed the revelations, and delivered them to Oliver. The revelations were now on their way to the printer, but who would oversee all aspects of their publication? The Lord revealed to Joseph Smith in Doctrine and Covenants 70 that he should form a sort of church scripture committee consisting of Joseph, his scribes, and the church printer William W. Phelps. This group, which eventually was known as the literary firm, was in charge of any decisions regarding the revelations, including their publication. For their work, the members of the firm were paid from sales of the revelations. The Lord was putting his seal of approval on the prophet Joseph's work to share the revelations, brand new scripture from God, with the world. And that's what's happening in Come Follow Me this week. Like and subscribe so that YouTube will share these videos with more people. And check out the Start Here app for daily Come Follow Me study prompts.